So y'all know Mike Hall. He's a returning citizen. He is a certified peer supporter. He is a committed and dedicated father. And he has a service heart. I'm super proud of his tenacity and his stick-to-itness. He's been on this battlefield, pioneering fatherhood for a long time. I'm glad to play some part in his growth and development. But his program was just fun.
Before you start,
the reason we were successful is because we started to put together resources that can help people find and keep the job. Things that had nothing to do with the job, but had everything to do with life. For example, what to do when you're pulled over, how to navigate child support. These are things that if somebody is not aware, they'll get caught up and they'll lose their job. You get what I'm saying? We did internal drug tests that we did not report to anybody, just so that somebody could get ready. You know what I mean? If you have an issue, do we need to talk to somebody? Do you need to cut it off right now? But let's make sure that you can pass the drug test before you go out there, because the rules said that if you applied for a job admission and you failed the drug test, you could not apply again for a year. So let's take care of things in-house. So there are things that you do. There are programs that you're a part of. There are things that you're connected with that if you just heard what he said and thought, how can my thing help them succeed? That's what I want you to do. And after he's finished, the question I'm going to ask you is, how can you all help this initiative succeed?
So first and foremost, I want to read the honor is due two people, three actually, four, could definitely identify what I'm getting ready to share. So the work that I'm doing now, the organization that I founded after hearing the aggressive but gentle quit wasting time, it started out because Dr. Hackett made me program director over thing he had created called City Works USA, Fathers of Youth United to Beautify Community. That sparked, I'm a preacher at heart, so that sparked something I was already pregnant with. Decorated past, I'm originally from Baltimore City, grew up in Baltimore, left Baltimore when I was 27, came to Elizabeth City, North Carolina, ended up doing 14 and a half years in prison in North Carolina. I remember the judge told me, so we don't play without cameras. Yeah, what was that supposed to mean? Anyhow, because I had my mind was offline. See, I wasn't just not born again, my mind was offline, because I know a whole lot of people that's born again, but their mind still ain't online. My mind had to be renewed. Through that journey of incarceration, I was a decorated gang member, West Coast gang member. You don't understand anything about the gang culture. I was West Coast. Probably halfway through my incarceration, I started talking to men, doing Bible studies, so forth and so on, getting together with the guys that typically the officers didn't want to talk to, so forth and so on. Make a long story short, the thing I started hearing from these dads that was more common than anything, whether they were black, white, and I sat at tables with guys that was AB, Crips, Bloods, 714, everything. The thing that was most dominant is they came from a fractured home as a result of a fractured father. In my organization, we coined a phrase called the father fracture syndrome. It's the greatest syndrome in our nation, but the least addressed. You can go to a therapist for most any mental health condition except for, yes, guess what? Deadbeat dad. It's okay to say deadbeat dad, but where does he go to get services? Where does he go to renew his mind? Where does he go to deal with the genetic fight or flight that's in him? I got out of prison, got together with Hackett, started connecting with men in the community. I work for almost every black nonprofit in the city. My dad is over there, Operation Gateway, YTL, everybody. UMOs, I work for everybody, which and they've all played a part what I'm doing now. So now, I'm a life coach, trauma-informed chaplain, certified by the International Fellowship of Chaplains, so forth and so on, and working with dads. I just baptized a young man and his wife. Who in here has any understanding of the gang culture? I just baptized a young man a month ago and his wife. He was Grape Street. I used to be bounty hunter. Maybe you understand what that means. That was Fred Hampton and Richard Nixon sitting down having a coffee together. and ain't no beef. That's what that was. Because I realized he had some trauma in his life as a result of his dad not being present and his dad doing things to him that shaped his identity. It's a question I ask men in my Black Men's Mental Health group that I facilitate. Do you know what it means to be human? Most people, whether they justice involved or not, if you're honest, no. Because the day you were born, you were told what it meant to be a man, what it meant to be a woman, what it meant to be a citizen. Don't get me started on what you're so spiritual, I'm really here. Nobody told you what it meant to be a human. As a result of these narratives, you begin to form an identity that led to whatever your life turned out to be. So I work with dads. I teach dads emotional intelligence. I teach dads, hey, what's most essential, what's most impactful in our communities is your family. I'm a pastor, so I would like for you to marry her. I understand that it's probably not profitable for you to marry her. But can you get along for the sake of the child? Working with Shanika Smith and Sisters Congress Sisters now, we are forming what we titled as Dula for Dads. Most people, when they hear that Dula for Dads, why? The mother needs a doula. Yeah, but the mother didn't get pregnant by herself. So the dad needs to understand too what's going on with mom. I remember being in the hospital that when she was pregnant with Annabella. 12 hours admission, dilated half a centimeter, all the mothers in here. I got a decorated past. I didn't have emotional intelligence then. So I'm furious. In my mind, I said, they better do something or I'm going to do something to them. Go sit down. Go sit down with Pastor Hackett. So, but there was a doula in this room, bless her soul, named Nikita Smith. She saw me. She's from the community, so she recognized my body language, emotional intelligence. She recognized my body language and said, come here, bro. Took me out in the hallway, talked to me, asked me what was going on. I'm a guy that didn't know how to communicate. But she talked me down, gave me some tools. I went back in. With the education she gave me in that 30 minutes, I went back in, I shifted the atmosphere in the hospital room. Even the doctors were alarmed and taken by it because they weren't used to a father saying, this is what you're going to do for my wife. This is what she's down on so forth and so on. A couple hours later, Annabella was here. So I began to watch other men. I began to study and come to understand what perimenopause was as well as menopause. I began to understand that my wife was 37 years old and dealt with PCOS to the point that she literally wasn't going to have our daughters at 37 years old. And when she did, she could have lost her life. I couldn't understand what postpartum was and that it can last longer than after she gives birth. And I began to say, and listen, as I began to get this education about what she was going to do for 9 months, and by the time she was in labor with our 2 daughters, you know what it did? We all adults in here, right? My daughter got her earphones on. I became a little more attractive to her. That's why she got a tooth on in the background. So not only the education for a father helps him be a better father, but also enriches the relationship with the mother that he gave birth to. 2 years, for 2 years of going to the 6 schools in the city. Seeing the young men that were fathers. Man, Big Mike, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I said, I was just like you. Well, I got 2 older daughters, 35 and 34 years old, that don't talk to me now, rightfully so, because the dad that they knew was a maniac. I'm the guy that the police in Baltimore City said, leave the city. Not, we're gonna lock you up, leave the city or else. I looked at that, and then we're gonna look at the dads. I said, hey man, what's the relationship like with you and your father? I'm getting ready to do a parenting behind bars group with a sister by the name of Wendy Brooks. I do a fatherhood enrichment group in the city now, in the county jail now. Did 2 daddy-daughter dances in the community. Taking dads to see Sound, took dads to see Sound of Freedom. Took dads to see Fireproof. Took dads to see Courageous. Working with dads now to go see dads that go to church. Hey, let's get your daughters together or your sons together and go see the movie about David Sisters Free for the church, and I'll get the funding and take y'all and see that I'm a tribe leader with an organization called Men's Alliance. Men, we losing on the battlefield with our families. One reason, because my organization don't have a whole lot of funding. Thank you for some wisdom from Dr. Hackett. I said, wait a minute, I'm gonna keep blowing the trumpet and keep saying it, and eventually you're gonna listen. Dads, how many got dads that They knew how to support the family financially, but my sisters in there, did they know how to support you emotionally? Did they know what was going on after you gave birth? Or do you even understand what's going on in their mind biologically? So I'm here to strengthen dads. This is what I do every day. There's men in here that I've worked with that can attest to it every single day. But I need help.
So what's the name of the program again?
Be More Alive Ministry. You can pull it up. We got a website, all that stuff, Facebook, so forth and so on. Again, Be More, BE-MORE, Alive Ministry.
And the program that y'all gonna be launching is called Dula for Dads?
Dula for Dads.
All right. So from each of your programs, we are in the neighborhood, who you know, what you have, et cetera, et cetera. Raise your hand real quick and let us know what you can do to help the Dula for Dads program. You can run around with the mic. I mean it right now.
All right. You already know.
Yeah. You know, I commit to continue to being a thought partner and participate in those type of things. And we always have the trauma-informed conversations, and we know we're resources for each other when it comes to that work. So that's what I'm happy to commit to.
Question. Now, you are a consultant. You have a history of teaching right here in the neighborhood. And some of the young people that you taught are now dads.
That is true.
Would you be willing to advise them on maybe a 4-week curriculum, on how they can put it together in a way that is systemic, so that it's not just, so that it can be done the same way? Would you be willing to meet and just advise them on how it can happen?
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely talk curriculum stuff, and then I can also give you the phone numbers of those young fathers.
Yeah, do y'all see how this goes? All right, next. Stop speaking and tell them how you're going to help them, Tony.
I don't really know.
You're going to spread the word.
Yeah.
How many kids you got, Tony? How many kids you got?
8.
That means you're going to tell your story so other fathers can learn from any mistakes that you might have made.
Yes.
Make sense?
Most definitely.
I'm serious.
Yeah, I'm serious too.
That's all.
Yes, sir.
I actually met Michael through doing trainings, and we've worked through other nonprofits. I met you those ways. My daddy taught me that, and different ones where my business is doing food safety training. It's just certifications, and even alcohol safety certifications that are required by both the health department, alcohol regulatory agencies. So it follows the person along those when they get certified. So it helps gain employment or advance your employment, and so there's going to be a lot of dads that you just talked about that starting over, and I've been with you on a few of those different Women's Alliance and stuff where it's a lot of younger men in that starting over phase. So I would love to, whatever we can do to just encourage them and get them back on their feet, because that's what, you know, once they're on their feet, they can be.
I know what you can do, and I'm going to ask you. If any of those fathers are looking for work in the food industry,
Absolutely.
and they're not part of a program right now,
Exactly.
could you make at least one space available in your class so they can get the training and not have to pay it?
That's exactly. That's what I'm going to do. You know, that, and I can connect them with. I mean, I work with probably 75% of our restaurants in town, so.
And help them point them to jobs.
I'll be a resume. I'll be a.
I love it.
referral.
Y'all see how this goes? Community helping each other.
Hello, my name is Jason Livingston. I'm fairly new to Asheville. I've been here about a year, and I work for WLOS News 13. I don't work in the news department. I work closely with them. So what I could do is I could quote unquote suggest things to the news department about stories that they should cover. I think something like doulas for dads is very interesting. I've never heard of that, and it immediately piqued my interest. I think it's really important, and so that coupled with this new grant, right, or funding, I'm not sure what it exactly is a big deal, I think. So I'd be happy to do that. I want to go ahead and I'll talk to one of the news directors.
There's something else I want to ask you to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop you. Sometimes agencies that are grassroots, they're great at the work, but they don't know how to navigate the systems. What I've come to understand is press releases are very important. They might not know how to do press releases. Would you be willing to meet with him and show him how to do a press release?
Yeah. So
that his organization has the capacity to do the thing over and over again now that they've learned it?
yeah, I mean,
That's easy for you, but it's big for them.
Without a doubt, that's actually a great idea. I didn't think about that. What I also want to do is what I mentioned to you earlier is have a little bit more outreach into prison systems for the AA and NA. As I mentioned before, I've done this over for 10 years, and so I want to get together with you on that and maybe piggyback off what you're doing in the jail system. So, that's me.
All right, sounds good. Next, what can you do to help?
You can help.
Cause you have already. They don't want to help you.
Yeah, he has already, he don't even realize it. So here's Darius Moss.
Whoa, that's Darius?
Yes.
What's going on, man? How you doing? Man, it's been a long time. Yeah, I know you. Oh, well, I'm Jay Hack. Yeah. You said you know me. I know you. Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
I'm Darius Moss. Michael Hall was my sponsor when I went through first at Blue Ridge. I did a year program, seen a therapist every 2 weeks, completed relationships, anger management, stages of changes, life after first. I worked a year for free at a place called Atlas Harding that makes parts for Tesla. And I did all this because I got in trouble in Asheville. I came up here to visit for New Year's, and I was getting a ride in my car, and my friend got shot in the face. But then that I'm a felon, I can't get around a gun. I got charged with it. But the judge seemed different. They allowed me to go to this program, which has never been done before. And if they could have used the charges like they wanted to, I basically would have been doing 15 to life. But I'm a living testimony that I'm here, and I work with Dave Dumpster downtown. We do a lot. We do the compost, the cardboard, and trash for a lot of restaurants downtown. I'm currently on the 8th monitor. I had to get permission to come down here for my federal probation officer. He said go ahead because I'm trying to do positive things. While I was in there, I learned a lot. I wanted to start my own nonprofit called Change Within, and it starts with yourself. I wanted to do different. I was going to be a change in my community because a lot of people know me, and a lot of people talk to me on Facebook and they say, if you can change, anybody can change. Because I used to be a guy running around here getting in trouble. And now, I'm just encouraging the youth to stay out of trouble and try to do the right thing. But they need to have opportunities to do things. They had things for us to do, like there's no more skating rinks for us to go to. Like we used to have slumber parties, and the YMCA bus used to come around and pick us up. And we don't have people going out there talking to the youth that are not afraid to go in the neighborhood and talk about gun prevention and stuff like that. And I'm that guy that is willing to get out here and do the footwork and continue to let people know that people change. And I'm just here. I was invited here by Michael, and I see there's a lot going on here. And I'm glad to see everyone. And, I'm just praying that I can get my nonprofit off the ground one day. So right now, I'm just taking it day to day, and just learning as I go. Yeah. All right.
So Pastor Mike, this is why Be More Live Ministry is important. All the heartfelt stories I have, passion, and so forth, so it don't be nothing if there's not evidence that it works.
Saying our answer with TD Bank. Obviously it starts with me as well, so being a better father myself. And then also the different areas where we can provide assistance would be in financial literacy, possibly looking for grants, looking for ways that we can volunteer and just be a helping hand for the community in that respect. So personally and as a bank.
Hello, I'm Shelley with TD Bank, and like he said, we can work together as doing grants. John Perot is in community investment he would be able, we can get together and have lunch and he can talk about all the different grants and stuff that we can do for the nonprofit. And then we also have literacy where, for, you know, like if they're starting over, we can do financial classes and, small groups and talk about how they can start building their credit again, saving money and everything.
Well, let me clarify. You all are willing to do a financial literacy with them as a series of classes that takes them from one point to another.
Yes,
And he doesn't have to teach it.
and he doesn't have to teach it.
Okay, all right. And then the second thing, of course, we know grants are not guaranteed. Oftentimes when programs are funded initially, they don't have funding for staff. Or maybe even some of the accounting that's required to continue, you know, like QuickBooks or maybe an audit. But you are willing to introduce them, maybe even have lunch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so not
I'll
just
be
email, it's an introduction from one community member to another.
Yeah.
Right, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right.
If it's profitable, Dr. Hackett, outside of the Dula for Dad program, some local urban communities can use beautification. I created a model based off of Father and Son United Beautified Community, Father and Son Skill Entrepreneurship Program. Going to the local communities.
Oh, yeah, we can do that without them.
Okay.
Thank you, TD, for
I'm Sharon Jenkins, and
Yes, you are.
Mike, I'm proud of you, what you're doing. You got married at our church a few years ago and everything. And, I mean, what you're doing is a good thing because everybody deserves a second chance. And there's lots of young men out there that need that second chance. So you just keep up the good work. We'll keep praying for you, bring your family back to your church where you got your roots at, and come and see us sometime.
For her, I see the conviction.
If they make decisions for the church, I want to ask them if y'all would consider something. Just take it back and think about it. If one day y'all have a Fatherhood Sunday and invite Mike and all the fathers in his program to come and give him a piece of chicken afterwards.
They have a men's program on Saturday, every Saturday morning.
All right.
We got one at 7 o'clock. He part of it.
So it's at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. I think they get like an hour and a half. I mean, they're there every Saturday morning at the church. You know where we're at.
Yes, ma'am. Right next to Peak.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
For the sake of it, I felt a conviction because I see Naomi with the flag. I was like, oh, she back at? Yeah.
Sounds good. Anybody else?
I'm just gonna say, Renee Waters, and I just want to agree with everything Sharon said.
Well, no, I got something else for you. Well, no, because y'all's partnership is with an organization. I was going to ask her to do your budget for you, but you don't need that headache right now. Y'all already got an organization, but one day they might need some help, Renita.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else willing to help them out?
My name is Mel Hess. I'm a licensed clinical social worker.
Oh,
addiction specialist. Good, Dr. Hackett. Thank you, Bruce, for the invitation. So I'm all things mental health. And if there are folks in your organization that want to become certified drug and alcohol counselors, or need to navigate the peer support, or want to get into grad school and what it's like to be a therapist, I'm happy to help them with the applications. I'm a clinical supervisor, so I can supervise them as they're getting started. But really, whatever else you need. I'm formerly incarcerated as well, a felon, and so I've been through the system. I know exactly how hard it is to make something of yourself when the whole world seems to be against you. So it's really inspiring to see the folks and just hear. Also, as a city council member, I'm just here to listen. And as Dr. Hackett said, you tell us what you need and we'll follow.
First off, I gotta say I appreciate
Once
you,
we
brother.
met before, but I don't remember where.
I don't know, some people say I got a familiar face, you do too.
For sure.
First off, I gotta say I appreciate you, but sometimes you gotta be the change in order for individuals to believe they see the change. And when you come from certain backgrounds, it's like you only believe what your environment shows you. So if you see the same thing your whole life and you don't ever see anybody doing anything different, it's not as impactful as you see an individual turning from this person into somebody that's a totally different individual coming from something that they came from. What I can do for you, I believe, don't mark me on this, but I'm gonna try my best. I'm a CPSS, I work for a company based out of Charlotte called Putting Things in Perspective. My supervisor just asked me a week ago to take this training to deal with males. Mainly, I think she wanted to be fathers or troubled youth. And once I finished the training, she wanted us to start putting together groups that take individuals out to kind of get them away from their environment and take them out of, give them a break from life as they know it. So what I can do is, if there's anything I can do for you as a CPSS or individuals that you want me to talk to or work with, I'd be more than happy when I find the time to be able to do that with you. And I would also like to get you in contact with the person I work for, because it's something that y'all maybe can brainstorm on better to figure out what she's trying to do and what you do and how to put those two things together to come up with something that's more impactful in a bigger area.
And Sean, I don't know if you thought about this with your business. I know you, somewhere with the workforce development, we talked about you starting your business, you already got a really good setup. Y'all can have some type of connection in that too as well, where he's working with young men and fathers. And I know that's what you're looking for when me and you were talking about employment, consistency, so there's a synergy right there too. To do that too as well.
Man in Charlotte right now,
Yeah.
coaching, he looking for a job, he working 9 hours a week, 10 hours an hour. He said, man, I need a better job, I'll go to FedEx or whatever.
Yeah,
That
might be a good synergy right
I got you.
Yeah, perfect. Anybody else, anything else? Thank you all for coming in, for collaborating. It really is important that we try, okay? Nothing ever works out the way it's planned, but if you're part of the solution, at least you're trying, and it's better when you do it together. So make sure Mike has your contact information, and part of the reason that he needs y'all's support is because this program is going to have to stand up against all the other things. You get what I'm saying? All the other things. And if this program has all the resources it needs, then it's going to more than likely be more successful than it would have been if he had tried to do it on his own. Nobody stands alone. But if we can have a web of support around fathers, I think this could be a great event. So let's take a picture. Y'all make sure Mike has your information. Eat all of the rest of the food. We don't really need any leftovers. It's Chick-fil-A and a fruit salad. I'm going to get a little bit more fruit. I was going to get macaroni and cheese, but I decided to skip the mac and cheese today and do fruit.
Thanksgiving is next week. We're happy.
Yeah. Let's gather around and take a picture real quick. Mike, let's gather around and take a picture real quick.